What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am still trying to get this Porsche 944 swapped to the J35 running this year. I am still trying to get this Porsche 944 swapped to this Honda J32 running this year. I'm obviously falling a little short on my goal of getting it out on track at some events that are closer to me, but I haven't given up on the thought of getting it running. So lucky for me, I've got Todd from 944 J Swaps in town, and he is helping me do the most tedious part of this build for me, which is the wiring. Todd's got experience in this already. He's got 2 cars running using the micro squirt kit. So he's got his wiring diagram here with him. He's got a real basic layout mapped onto this piece of cardboard that he knows to follow. So I'm gonna go ahead and take lots of notes and pay attention to what he's doing, and maybe try to get a few other things done in the background. But we'll be watching Todd get this wiring going. He says it's pretty easy. Again, this is something I have zero experience in, so we're gonna watch the expert at work.
So something that's not absolutely crucial or vital to the build, but I did want to do, was clean up the valve covers and the intake manifold. They're pretty crusty looking. There's some chips in the paint on the valve covers, and it's really minimal work to just do a little degreasing and pressure washing, and then just hit them with a little bit of VHT engine paint to make them look a little nicer. It's probably the only place in this build where I'm going a little extra to make it look nice. Everything else is purely functional since it's a race car. I don't want to have these things sitting on the top of the engine looking so crusty to the point where everyone looking at it scratching their head saying, why didn't he just spray paint those or something? If I wanted to spend a little bit more money, I'd get them powder coated, but I'm just gonna hit them with some engine paint and be done with it. So get them cleaned up. I'm probably being a little anal retentive, but there's some spots where the paint has peeled off these valve covers in a couple areas, and I feel like if I paint over it, it's just gonna be really obvious. So I'm just gonna put in like minimal effort, put a little sanding on it. I gotta at least try it and make it look better before I paint it. Good. All right. A lot better. There was like lots of big peeling and a bubbling thing going on here. Probably gonna have to get a little bit of hand sanding in these corners where the paint's still kind of peeling if I want to be picky. I'm now thinking about going back and doing like a wrinkle finish, because like sanding all this stuff where it's peeling around these bolt holes, it's gonna be tricky. So anyways, you know, making an effort. We'll see. I'm using a typical sander, and it works for these big flat areas, but not around like the bolt hole location. So I'm gonna try and use the Dremel. It's gonna be a wrinkle finish, so it should be okay, but I just wanna give it the best chance to look decent. So I'm gonna put in a little bit more work. Well, they're nowhere near perfect, but I've decided this is as far as I'm willing to go. If they need to be better, maybe I'll get them powder coated, but I just want to get some paint on these things. The more I mess with them, the more flaws I find. I just want to get some paint on there, but I'm going to do some taping, I think, the spark plug boots and the oil fill cap and the breather, and then start just getting some paint on it. Okay, here's my final impression of the wrinkle finish paint, VHT. This one turned out phenomenal. Very happy with how this one turned out. Yeah, this one's It looks great. There's a couple little flaws in it, but you'd have to look pretty close to see it. I'm happy with that. The other one definitely needed some more cleaning. gonna be hard to see in this light, but there's definitely a lot of issues in this one. It's all my fault. I can tell these are all contamination issues, meaning I didn't prep the part enough. So that's a bummer because it's gonna look really obvious in contrast to the other one that looks pretty clean. So, you know, these will be placeholders, I guess, until I decide to get some valve covers that don't have rust, that don't need sanding, and I'll redo it. But for now, you know, it's gonna have to work. Lessons learned, folks. Take your time.
So I'm pulling out the wires that we're going to use. There's quite a few of them we're not going to need. So we're just going to keep those separate for now, and then we'll terminate them when we're absolutely sure we're not going to be using them.
So yesterday I painted my lawn red by painting the valve covers outside. I'm going to use the trash can today instead, save my grass a little bit of that color. I'm hoping this turns out a little bit better than the valve covers. I'm trying not to touch it with my fingers at all. I did some glass cleaner which has alcohol in it. I've heated up with a torch instead of a heat gun, trying to burn off any excess grease. I'm going with the VHT wrinkle again, but this time it's going to be black. So yeah, let's see how it turns out. I'm also going to try and go a little thinner on the first coat. Let that sit for a bit.
All right, so Todd's been plugging away at the harness and he's got it ready to transfer towards the car. So he's gone through and looped all of the wires that we're not going to be using into their own harness. This is if you're doing way more complex stuff than what we're doing. All the inputs that need to be inside the car are on this part of the harness here. And then the rest of the harness that's nice in the shroud, we've got ready to go into the car, and that's going to go through the firewall towards the engine. So we're getting ready to transfer this into the car. All right, well, that's it. We've got the wiring pulled into the engine compartment, and all these wire leads here now have their own job, whether it be ignition coils or fuel injectors. There's IATs, intake air temperatures, throttle position sensors, all the things you need to get this thing running. And that's it. I mean, the work is on me. I got to figure this out, and thank God for Todd here. Giving me lots of diagrams and links to other YouTube videos of people who've already done this kind of work. That all the information is out there. So now that's pretty much on me now. Like all the wiring's there. That's all it takes to get this car to run. So pretty cool. And obviously I got my homework cut out for me, but I mean, it's pretty doable, I'd say. So yeah, big shout out to Todd for coming out and helping me out today. One step closer to getting this thing back out on track.